Yeah, it looks like they're volume loading here on AULT. There's a news catalyst. Very high revenues on this news catalyst. No. Right, set these alerts. 5%. 10% is 1804.
There we go. Good morning, bro.
And then 5% is 20 over. This is how the news scanner looks in the morning. There's only two plays here.
So the scanner is going to automatically give you the plays. So the scanner is automatically going to populate plays.
It's moving pretty slow. This news actually came out at 6:30 a.m. At 7 a.m. they did 48,000 shares in that candle. 7:01 they did 81,000 shares in that candle. Yeah, breaking this high right here, 1738 should send this. Yeah, yeah, bro. The scanner automatically, anytime a stock fits the criteria of the scanner, it will automatically populate. And so for system one, we're running we're running the top percent gainers at 9:30. Once we have that video, uh, or that Zoom session slash video, you'll see things populate on here automatically. And then, of course, on stocks to trade here, just gonna open this. This criteria right here is what is the stock must fit all of this, and then it will populate here. And yeah, it's automatic, so you don't have to do anything except for on nah, I have the TV muted. 1 second.
Is that better?
All right, let me change it quick. I think it's in here, yeah. Audio. All right, say something now.
Is that better?
Yep.
Okay,
Gotcha.
bet.
Yeah, I just like keeping the TV muted because thinkers gonna be making like random noises.
For sure. All right, you can keep it muted. I was just wondering what was happening.
Nah, you're good. Perks of
I,
having a separate mic.
I see you have alerts on there. Did that come with the setup that you already have, or those just stuff that you put on yourself?
No, I just right clicked on my mouse and then I click create alert, and those alerts are my profits, like 5%, 10%. I did a 15% and then I did a 25%. Normally I would do 25, like 20, 25, 50, but this is moving kind of slow. So based on this slower movement, I'm not going to be looking to be greedy or anything like that. Now, if it just speeds up and just starts blasting through all these levels, then I'll just be watching for that highest volume bar to see where it's going to put the top.
Uh,
But I mean, the the ask right now, if you look at the level two, the ask right now, oh, there it goes. See, people keep putting large orders up there to push it up, which tells me that's probably insiders doing that, but then they're removing it instantly.
so this makes the stock drop.
No, that just makes it not go up as fast because when they put those large orders, like 3-digit, 4-digit orders right here on the bid,
Mhm.
just to push it up a little bit instead of leaving it there. If they leave it there, the regular buyers will just start buying through these levels like instantly.
Okay.
Yeah. And like this large, you see this ask right here, that
Yep.
that 4-digit ask that just disappeared. Yeah, right here.
Mhm.
That is either for them to load in a lot of shares or for them to hold the stock. And because this is 100,000 shares, that's not 1,000 shares. That's 100,000 shares. And so now, whenever you see these orders, those four-figure orders, people will usually start stepping down on the ass like that, so they can get out of their position before it gets there, just in case this stuffs. But um, it's above middle VWAP, so that's really what's important. The middle VWAP is kind of like your guide to holding it as long as possible. And so now that they're buying through this wall right here, at 17.6, breaking that should send it right through this 18.5 level, and then it'll peace out. And as long as I keep getting new highs, like this little wall right here, I need it to break. I need a new high again.
Hmm.
But I prefer watching it on the 5 minute. I just use the 1 minute so I can see make sure that they're actually loading a lot of shares in when the news hit. But this news actually came out at 6:30. But on E-Trade you can't enter until 7 a.m.
Ah, okay, okay. Did you already enter a trade?
Yeah, yeah, I've been in here.
Okay, you already in. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, I basically got in near the bottom of this candle right at 7 a.m.
Ah, okay. I know you said you got to get in within the first 1 to 2 minutes.
And that's of the news being released. So this was a little bit different. The news was that, let me move this over. It says this company did a preliminary third quarter revenue over 52.5 million. And so for the stock to be trading at 17 cents and is doing 52.5 mil for a third quarter revenue, that's pretty strong.
Mm,
And so, but it's also not like a really like spiky type of news. And so I don't know if people are waiting for it to just break this high for new highs because they did double wicket in this area. And so that's a little bit sketch, but and so I'm just watching it. Like I said, I needed to break these too high. Holding under here is not a bullish sign. Is this recording yet? What other news we got? Yeah, just two so far. So they usually release news right at 7 a.m. and then they do news at um usually like 7:30.
yeah. You said to do what at 7:30?
uh Release news. So that's usually what time like new news will populate. Like 7 right at 7 a.m. and then 7:30. And then sometimes they'll do it in between 7:30 and 8. And so I just sit here. I just keep it as a time range from 7 a.m. until like 8:33. I'll just sit here and watch for new news to populate and then type it in and then see if they're volume loading.
Okay.
Yeah.
7:30, 8:30 a.m.
Yeah. So like basically like an hour and a half of work time for exponential gains. And then if there's no play, then I come back so basically I'll go shower, read, eat, chill, and then come back at 9:29, ready for to see if we're gonna get that next move. And usually there is a top percent gainers, 5% a week, because there's some chat room somewhere pumping up a stock. And so it works out. And there's no bad sushi on here. I didn't mention that in the video. This 50-day chart, there's no bad sushi on it, which is a good sign as well. Bad sushi is this chart doesn't have any bad sushi. I think what's a chart that had some nah, that didn't have bad sushi. Let me just look at my gallery. Oh, the stock had some bad sushi. Yeah, this is bad sushi right here. This is this massive gap down on the daily chart. That's bad sushi.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what does that indicate?
Usually a public offering. Companies really struggling, really failing, and so they need to raise capital. They do a public offering, and but the people who are going to give them the money are going to sell them the shares usually way lower than current stock price, and so then it has to dump. And so public offerings are like free money for shorting. So once individuals' accounts are like high enough to be shorting stocks, which on IB you can do that with like 2 to 4K. You can start shorting stocks, uh, and then public offering news gets released, and then they have a date hits, and this is what happens. And this is massive free money. And let me pay
Hmm.
attention to AULT because we got that break. Let me go back to my Excel. Yeah, I'm up over 10% right now. We just need that 18 and a half break. There it is. I love when I visualize, and you'll understand this from energetic standpoint. I always like to visualize getting new high bubbles to the right. So like it just keep making this bubble right here. Yeah, like what it's doing right now. I
Mhm.
like seeing that on like each candle. All right, let me go back to AULT, focus up a little bit. Looking at the daily. Dang, they okay. This is speeding up. Yeah, I mean, yeah. All right, let me really pay attention. I didn't expect it to speed up like that. All right, you see this? This is really high volume here. So let me get my sell order ready. And I'm looking at the bid. I see 1913. Okay, 1904. Just watching the bid. So somebody just smashed the bid at 19. So let me see. Let me give it a second. I'm gonna give it a sec just because this right here, simple price action, could just use this as support and then continue higher. And 5 minute hasn't done the largest volume, and we're still inside the same 5 minute candle. Let's see, 14. Dang, what's this? Oh, this all in 32s. So yeah, that's a good ways away. So let's see. All right, we're back up green. That 1 minute candle's back green. Let's see if we get a new high. I really wanted to get to 20 if 0.205, and your alerts don't work in pre-market. I just set them to give me a reminder of how much I'm up. All right, so okay, we're back there. If we can get that high, there it is. Beautiful. All right, so still watching. And now in the 5 minute candle, volume is extremely high. This is speeding up here. Let's see if we can break through that 20 wall. I'm still watching the bid. I see a large order at 19.3 because then I can easily dump all my shares into that large order.
And you're watching the 5 minute for that.
Oh, the bid? No, no, no. The bid is right here. I'm watching the bid.
Bit. Okay, okay.
Yeah, the bid is on level two. I'm watching the 5 minute because you see how high this volume is?
Hmm.
That's extremely high. And so if next candle doesn't start making a new high instantly, I need to dump it all. But there we're right here at the 20, which is the psychological level. Okay, there we go. Let's see if we just rip through it. Beautiful. Come on. There it is. All right, we're like right there. Right there. There's a large order at 20.35 though. Dang. All right, here. Well, they just moved it. So let's see. Oh, they just blew through it. Okay, I'm up over 25%. So I'm gonna keep my order. Well, the bid is still under 25% though. What time? We got 2 minutes. All right. I'm gonna sell 80% of my position right here at 25% just to scale out. Dang, somebody just slapped the bid right there. Yeah, 929. They're probably making the top here. Okay, we're back through 20. I'm just gonna put my order on the ask. Bro, don't be loading all slow now. Come on. Well, you got time for that. Yeah, 1975 getting waxed.
Does the delays or when it moves slow, does it affect your how you pull out?
Uh, no, I mean E-Trade if it's like spinning on one screen, just literally go back, just click the back button and then go right back. It just acts dumb for a half a second.
Okay.
Well, I was trying to get out there, but God, God's giving me more and more profit, so appreciate it. All right, I just got a good amount out. Yeah, did I get the entire 80% out? I see. Oh yeah, count looking a little bit more juicy there. All right, so let's see. We're in the 21s now, so let's see. Uh, Next stop, if it gets to 24.6, I'll be up 50% profit. So let's put a 24.6 alert. Do you have an Excel spreadsheet? It makes it very easy for executing.
Yeah, I do.
Okay. Uh, I don't think I dropped a picture of how mine looks in the chat yet, but I'll do it in 1 sec. 24.6. All right, so basically, we did get a new high, but it's not like pumping. Yeah, I'm just gonna get the rest out. If I'm wrong, I don't really care. You know, I mean, it's no point in being greedy. Most investors don't even make 8% a year.
Damn.
How many shares do I have left? Oh, Yeah, where we're at. All right. Well, we're still above my 25%. So let me see. Let's see. I think it's kind of like just dipping because this is gonna be the really the first high volumes. It's gonna be oh no, it's just how the daily chart looks. I usually don't prefer daily charts that look like this, but my girlfriend has made really good trades on chart daily charts that look like this. So just through watching her experience, it kind of like made me understand them and study them a little bit more. All right, so we got a 21.3 print. It's it's stalling in this area. And so that could either be a wall or support. We're under my 25%. So I'm gonna just put my order at 20 cents for the rest and just be done with it. All right. So now I'm out 100%. Beautiful. Easy. I mean, like, it don't get any easier than that. And so what's really great about executing pre-market now, and we got this all recorded. Perfect. What's really great about executing pre-market is that this is now gonna potentially fit system one, which is yesterday's candle was red. Um, what's the volume? Let me put this because you can't see the volume right now. The volume. I forgot. I forgot what's it called? Merged. Charles Schwab and Thinkorswim did their merge the other day, and so I had to freaking recode stuff, but I took it as needed. All right, so the volume is 3.4 million already, and it's only 7:34 a.m. So by the time this hits, yeah, this will be 5-10 million plus first green day. So essentially, there would be two trades for myself on here today. One on system two using the news catalyst, which is very beautiful. And then second one just on the top percent gainers scanner. As long as it's above this middle view up. If it's not, then it won't be there. How? But I must have logged in the wrong account. One sec. No worries. Simple fix. Oh yeah, remaining 9 minutes. Where'd it go? Maybe I gotta click this little dollar sign. Oh yeah, here we go. All right, let's see. How many licenses do you need? One. Personal use. Continue. What's going on? No, I don't need any of that stuff. All right. How do we only have 9 minutes left? But I got on here at 7 a.m. And yeah, and then this move that I did today will be uploaded to the email addresses don't match. Okay, oh, will be uploaded to the passwords don't match. The Profitly tomorrow.
Okay.
But yeah, I enter that. Let me look. I'll look in this. Bro, what are you talking about? Maybe I'm typing too fast. I entered at 16.4. All right, here we go. There we go. Okay, so then let's sign in. Please log in with your Google account. How many minutes? 7 minutes left. Oh, well, that was pretty good sales right there. You see how it's selling right in these super high volume candles?
Mm-hmm.
And it's like instead of it being like strong candles, it's like wicking out. All right, select the number V1. Okay, 15.99. Yes. Uh, what's that address for that? They don't got Apple Pay. That's whack. Well, let's save the card. All right. 5 minutes left.
For this recording, can you
There we go.
uh
Now we got unlimited.
there
All
we
right.
go.
What do you say?
Could you like quickly just run through your whole like thought process from this trade today?
All right. So I need this little
Just
thing.
reiterate.
There we go. All right. So, and this was a little bit different than system two. Let me close all these Zoom tabs. We got unlimited time now. All right. So, of course, woke up this morning, cut my thinkorswim on, and then got my chart on 1 day, 5 minute, and then put this one on today, 1 minute. Normally at 6:55 when I'm got my thinkorswim and my bring this over here, my stocks to trade on. Normally there's nothing, it's blank. At 7 a.m., something will usually populate, or like 7:01 a.m., something will usually populate if it has news and it fits all the criteria that I showed. And I'll just show it again real quick. It must fit all of this, every single box, in order to make it here. So
Mm.
very specific. And this has a massive amount of volume. And so I'm gonna look at that and go over that in a second, whatever it is, in the percent change. This is the play that probably would have made me 100% profit. But don't get me wrong, I'm extremely grateful for over 25% I made on this. Um, but so the news came out, I click on it, and then it comes right here. I guess I gotta open this again. So comes up, I click on it, it opens here. Well, the first thing I do is read this headline right here. Now, if it's a red SEC filing, I'm not gonna read the SEC filing, so I don't really care. I really don't care what this says either, because what's most important to me is volume accumulation and price pushing up.
Okay.
I mean, I'm being, it's gonna sound like I'm being funny, but this could say three monkeys were spotted at Alt Alliance And if those three monkeys being spotted at all the lions is causing the chart to be pumping up volume like this and moving up, I'm buying it. Like that's how it works. Like the company news could be whatever, and it will usually start to accumulate. And so right in here, that part of the chart didn't exist yet. At 7 a.m., I'm now allowed to execute on E-Trade. And so the volume was 48,000. So I was like, that's cool. But we had these over here, so I can't ignore those. And so I looked right here. We had volume at 18,000. And then I had this little volume bar right here under this candle, which is 10,000. But I'm looking for like the 30s, 40s, 50s, 70s. And so all before 7 a.m., they've been loading in shares of volume. And so we had 38. I was like, perfect. 63. I'm like, oh yeah, we're good. And so by 7 a.m., when they just dumped 48,000 shares in, I'm like, okay, cool. I want to be in between these 1 and 2 minutes. And so I was in at 16.4 very quickly. Um, like I said, you just got to be quick. And thankfully, um, I mean, if anybody, whoever else is trading news catalyst plays pre-market, it dipped back down because I wanted to be in this close to the bottom of this candle as possible. And so the low of the candle actually went down to 1581. So I could have got a lower entry, but I mean, that was an unexpected move. But I guess it made sense because they were retesting this little high right here. But that's hindsight. In the moment, my forefront was, okay, made it to the scanner. Okay, what's the news? I'm just checking to make sure the news is not a public offering. If the news says public offering, I don't care if it's loading a million shares a second and it's pushing up, I'm not buying it. Public offerings with the exercise price below current price is going to cause it to dump extremely hard, extremely fast. Like very likely no way to get out of the trade quickly. But because of that type of severity, it's heavily alerted. Like you will know a lot of time before the public offering is going to hit the stock. It's not like a Forex play where they just slam some random news out of nowhere and just wipe your entire account. This is a stock market, extremely regulated. And so, but if the news is anything other than public offering, perfect. We got the volume, it started to push up, and I'm like, okay, I'm good to go. And then I just held it. And so when I'm in this candle and it's already kind of topped out, but right here where these moving averages are starting to come across, that was giving me a good indication that instead of it just going down and just going to my 10%, 15% max stop loss, instead of it going down there because this is uptrending and the revenues were extremely high for a low price stock. And that's what I had said earlier today. 52.5 million for third quarter is very high for a stock that's trading in the 17-cent area. And it's a first green day, which is, well, potential first green day. Even though market hasn't opened yet, this could just dump back down under 14 and just sell off. It's trading above it, so it's a potential first green day. And so I have first green day on my side. I have high revenue news volume on my side. I have everybody for the most part, like majority of traders can now enter at 7 a.m. So even though it's traded, it's moved up prior to the real volume doesn't come in until 7 a.m. and I'm in at the basically bottom of the candle. So I
Mhm.
have a great entry. I have the news that I'm looking for. It made it to the scanner. That's very important. I'm extremely strict on the stocks that make it to my eyesight, my reality. And so it made it there. And then it then proved itself by loading in more volume on top of what it's already did and pushing up pretty quickly. And so in and then when it's chopping in this area, I'm like up 5% in here. I'm like, do I take my 5%? It's not doing what I want. But then I'm like, okay, well, this is starting to move up above the 520. And see, now you can see it's about to have every moving average above the 520. It just needs to trade in this area a little bit longer, and all of them will be above the 520, which will then fit the formation. And so this likely will be a very nice system one play at 9:30. But I mean that's almost 2 hours away. So there's a lot of time that there's a lot of transactions that are going to go on in between that time. But for me, I was like, all right, we just needed to get back above middle VWAP, which it did. And the signification of that is the fact that this 21 and 28 are starting to fully cross above the 83 EMA and then starting to move above the 520. That is showing me positive progression of the stock, which just means buyers are buying. That's all I need. I want to
Mm.
get in at the bottom, like institutions, like the banks, and then buyers keep buying and then push my trade up. That's all it is. And so once we're back above middle V go up, I'm like, okay, cool. I'm like, now I just need to break this high. Well, on the 1 minute, I was saying this high right here. Well, let me not do that. Uh, right here when I was saying the 17.6 and on the ass there was that large that four remember that 4-digit order, the 100,000 shares. That was what was causing it to stuff right here. But then once we got back to it and we broke through it, you can see it did right here. These two candles are where it broke, and then we just kept getting the push, kept getting the push. And so I was watching the volume and it was pushing up. And then of course I had my alerts. You can see I had 1722, which was 5%. I had 1804, which was 10%. And then this was 25%. And then like I said, this high volume right here, I was like, this is probably going to be the top just for now. But then we made a new high. I was like, okay, well, maybe it'll just keep ripping. But then it was like I said, on the 1 minute, it was just sitting in this area. That is not a good sign. Uh, I mean, if you're bought up here, that's just dumb. But if you're in down here and you're not exiting in this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, you had 7 entire minutes to get out at the top. A lot of times people think this top right here is for it to continue higher. For me, that's not a sign to continue higher because the volume is massive.
Okay.
And I'll just reiterate that. A lot of times people think this will be a sign for it to go higher, like it's basing, like, oh no, it's just making a little channel to break out and go higher. To me, that's not what that's doing. To me, this is people are selling their profit. Look down here, this is to me a channel. Look how it's going sideways, and then look how low the volume is.
Hmm.
That's the institution sneaking their money in. That's the smart people like us buying in down here when it's basing. And then when it starts to break out, then other people are like, oh shoot, wait, this is breaking out. Oh shoot, everybody's chasing it. And then all the FOMO buyers are like, okay, I'm gonna get in now. This is the time it's gonna blast off. And then it just dumps. And they're like, what the heck happened? This massive volume, and you can see it on the 5 minute. This is not a sign of going higher. And you see these 3 wicks right here
Hmm.
and perfectly topped out in this area. Legit had 15 minutes to get out in the 20s. The night high, yeah, low 20s, low to high 20s, 15 whole minutes to get out. Anybody that got in here. And then that was the play. And so in at 16.4 over here, out in I don't remember which. I think it was out in this candle. Let me just look on E-Trade. Out at 7:33 731 for the 80% at 28 and a half, and then 733. So, so yeah, everything got dumped into this candle. So right in here, 731, dumped most of my shares here, and then 733 dumped the rest. So basically top ticked it. And that's just simply because I don't want to remove all of them. Remove that one. That's simply because this five minute candle right here, very high volume. And so normally with this type of high volume, I would just dump in the next candle without even letting it see if it's gonna break right here because it closed off the highs. If it closed up here, then I will wait and see if it's gonna just keep going. But closing off the highs like that, I'm like, nah. But then it just immediate when I was trying to get out, it just kept going up. And so I was like, all right, cool. Appreciate it, God. And then I was fully out. Like I said, plenty of time to get out. And you can see, look, this highest volume right here stuffed it. But I just think a lot of people don't know about that. I learned that from Jack Kellogg to watch these high volume plays, like extremely high volume.
So that indicates a reversal.
Yes, 100%. Yeah. I mean, I could show you. I mean, if you look at the all those 5 minute posts I put in, if you just go on the 5 minute, well, they're all 5 minute charts, but if you scroll through and look, you will see either high volume candles to break the stock out, and then you will see high volume candles to stuff it. And I mean, this right here is the highest volume. Let me switch this back to 5 minute. This one did 1.17 million. This one did uh just under 1.1 mil. And then that was the top. But this could be a temporary top. Because I mean it is still right here in the area and it's holding above the 21 and 28. But for me, if I let it come all the way back down to the 21 and 28, I would have given back my entire profit. And so maybe I could have sold 80% and then held through. But for me, I mean, I'm up 25% in freaking 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 25, 30 minutes. That's 1% a minute. Like I'm not being greedy there. Makes no sense to be greedy. But yeah, that was the thought process on that.
Okay.
Any questions on that?
Um, does it change based on the previous day? So I know you said that if it was a red day the next day, it was most likely to be a green, correct?
Correct. Yeah, yesterday's red, today. Well, not most likely to be green. It's just today would potentially be a green day if yesterday
Oh,
was red.
okay.
Yeah. But say if yesterday was green and then today was the move, I probably wouldn't have been looking to hold it to 25%.
Okay.
Being very honest, so correct, it would have changed. But I also wouldn't ignore the price action. The price action was pretty clean. Maybe this little dip right here, this little, okay, got the new high, and then act like it was about to break out and then dipped. But then that's why I put the line right there to give myself some more surety. Like, wait a second, don't just get out just because it's dipping. Because sometimes this type of pullback could just go right back to your entry because it's pre-market and people are like, this news is not as meaningful as whoever said it was. And so I just follow price action. And it's very easy to read price action on these low price stocks. There's not hedge funds and algos trading these low price stocks. They can't put as much money as they want into them, so they can't even trade them. And so we're trading against people who are usually don't know what they're doing. It's going up and they're buying. It's going down and they're selling. They don't know what's going on. They're like Tim Sykes describes it as we're trading against we're like Shaq and we're trading basketball against midgets. That's how Tim Sykes describes it. Like when you're trading like these low price stocks. And that's why I love it because I mean it's easy to win. You just execute at the points that are likely to have a high probability of success and then watch price action to hold your trade. But yeah, that's why I put that line right there to see if it was going to use it as support or kind of just like start trading under it. Then I was just going to dump my entire position. And then I still would have made 10% in dumping my entire position under this level.
Are you using those Bollinger Bands? I don't know if they're Bollinger Bands
Nah,
or not.
these are VWAPs. This is the
V-
upper VWAP. This is the middle VWAP, and this is the lower VWAP. It's
Okay,
similar. It still is overbought, oversold, and then this is kind of like the sweet spot right in the middle.
okay.
But yeah,
Are,
these are extremely, extremely important.
are you using those to enter a trade? Or are you using those to see when you get out?
I use the middle one to enter a trade sometimes.
Okay,
Remember, for system one, I'm either entering at the open price or I'm entering at the right above the middle VWAP.
okay.
And yeah, now this is back above middle VWAP. This is probably gonna push and it'll probably break this high because 8 o'clock, a new swarm of buyers are gonna come in. So it'll probably break this high and keep going. And like I said, the price action is saying the news is very relevant, is very valid. This is very smooth, gradual price increasing projections. And so that's what you want to see. You want to see your trade just gradually going up. And that's how most of them are. It's not usually sporadic movement. And if I see sporadic movement, I probably won't trade it because it's not even worth it. And then I can remove these alerts because I'm already fully out, locked in over 25% gain. And then let's look at that. Let's pull this back up. Yeah, let's look at that LMDX. Let's see what's going on there. That was probably a bag. That was probably a bag. LMDX. Oh wow. So this one started at 4 a.m. though. What time did that news come out? Excuse me. News came out at what's today, the 23rd? Oh, I didn't even. Oh, yes, they announced a tie-up with two other companies. Let's see. Announced the tie-up. Not that irrelevant. If you want to trade stocks at 4 a.m., you just need an IB Pro account. And I have an IB Pro account, but I just waking up at 4 a.m. is just it's, it's a struggle sometimes. It's easy to do, but not the easiest to just wake up and trade as well. That's interesting. This didn't show up. Oh, because the news didn't pop up until 7:30. And so this play, the news popped up at 7:29. It definitely was loading a lot of volume. 729, 265,000 shares. So the first 2 minutes, 1 to 2 minutes. So you could have been in these two candles, but then you would have been entering at 26 cents, which would have been, let me put this back. I'm already done for the morning for trading system two. You could have been entering 26 cents, really 27 cents. Let's see, got in at 27 cents, 10% loss. Well, at least you would have had some support. So if it went down 10%, it would have definitely been breaking clear support. So if you entered in here, you had this support, this triple bottom here, and you had this support here. And it would have to break both of those just to reach your 10% level. Max stop at 15% would have been around this support. So I mean, I wouldn't have took it, but if somebody was feeling real risky, uh, you can go for it. It worked out. I mean, it went over 50%. So from right here to right here, entering at 27 is over 50% profit. 100% is at 54 cents, which you probably could get there. And this is also another first green day, because yesterday's candle was red. So I'm definitely gonna be, I'm just gonna leave these two right here because these are potential trades for the what's it called? For the system one setup. Yeah. But yeah, that's just my hindsight analysis on that. News dropped at 7:29. Get in 7 it really dropped at the end of 7:29, so you have by 7:32 to get in. So this area right here, and then it paid off. And as you can see how smooth low price stocks trade, like literally that's why I say stocks are way better. It's like it just goes up or it goes sideways and it goes up or it goes down. And just using news catalysts uh, is what makes it a lot easier to really execute. Something else just popped up. ALZN, another potential for a screen day. What time did this news drop? 8 a.m. So the news dropped at 8 a.m. It's 8:05. It did 2,600 shares. Whatever that news is, nobody cares about it. And what's funny is it looks like some, let's see, uh, they just they just submitted an application to go to a phase 2A clinical trial for a major depressive disorder drug, therapeutic drug. And it said it may qualify for FDA approval. Now, if this company gets an FDA approval, that will full send the stock. FDA approvals, US patents, European patents. If you ever see that type of news, it's very likely gonna fully send the stock. Unless it's like a unless the daily chart is on like this, like a all these green days in a row,
Mhm.
and like say the news came out this day or something, and it's amazing news, it was just gonna dump because everybody's gonna be taking profit. They usually don't do that. They kind of like, and this is a bad sushi too. It doesn't always mean the stock won't do what you want it to do because it has bad sushi. It just means the company did some dilutive stuff at some point. ALZN. I mean, now it's getting a little bit more volume. Maybe a random volume spike come out of nowhere. I'll just leave it right there. But yeah, it's very simple. Oh, they didn't break that high. They've sent it right in the same 21 area and stuffed it again. Actually, I may be able to upload it now. I think they changed since they merged with Morgan Stanley. They changed that you don't have to wait until the next day to
Oh,
upload the trade. Let's see. But Profitly acts dumb sometimes. So if you ever like uploading I use Profitly as my like tracking, my trade tracking, so I can see what I'm doing, so I can analyze what I'm doing,
mhm.
because that's very important. Because many years ago, I figured out that uh, I was trading stocks under 20 cents and it was causing me losses. Like, so what did I do? I changed my scanner to stocks above 20 cents and didn't go back. And so, yeah, I don't know. It's too soon. Maybe at the end of the day. If anything, I'll just do it tomorrow. I usually do it on the next day anyway, but I saw that sometimes, like in a couple hours, I could just upload it same day. All right, we just got something else pop up on here. Oh yeah, I traded this one the other day. I went over this trade in the system one video. It's the news. Complete strategic alternatives review and outlines latest progress for executing corporate strategy. It looks pretty irrelevant to me. And see, this is the type of stuff you gotta watch out for. They volume loaded this and then did nothing.
Mm.
And that news came out right at 8 a.m. So let's look here.
Well, you see that a lot.
No.
Okay.
And there we go. Every single moving average and everything was basically beneath the previous day's close. So that I feel like a scientist every every day because I'm constantly observing and testing my theories to ensure that it's staying accurate with the relevant market. And so the reason this volume loaded, which is what I want to see, and then dumped is because all of this is beneath the previous day's close. And I had this observation and I've just been following it and tracking it since then. It's been extremely accurate thus far. And so you see how all of these are beneath this dotted line?
Hmm.
That's why I say in the system 2 video, you want majority of this to be above here. And like if you look at AULT, oh, AULT, you see how the dotted line down here? You see
Yeah.
it? You see how everything's above it?
Hmm.
And you see how it's pushing? And then just give another example, what was it LMDX? You see the dotted line again? It's way down here, everything's above it.
Hmm.
And then look, this one did nothing.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, that's how I figure out what's the best thing to that's how I create my rules. That's how I create my tendencies to have discipline and consistency. Just simply noticing, okay, this volume loaded, it had news, it made it on the scanner. Okay, why is it different? What's making this not do anything? Is it the news? Maybe that's a possibility. Or is it how something looks? Usually it's how something looks because these are low price stocks. These are crappy companies. Nobody cares. Only people that care about these companies are the companies themselves. Yeah, major difference there. Wow. And I mean, this thing started pushing from 8 cents. That's a massive percent return. 43.17 minus 8 cents. 674%. Oh, now, is that right? 43. Oh, I, the wrong thing. I was like, no, that can't be right. 43, 17 minus 8 cents. There we go. Yeah, 439%. I like the nah, 6,000 sounds crazy. Yeah, 439% increase from this 8 cents down here up to 43. So you could increase your account 439% overnight.
Sheesh.
And how would you know to do that? Let me show you. Let's go right here, click this. It's had it's had news at 6:34 p.m. which is system 2. And I was just saying that they don't usually release news after 5 p.m. So there you go. Outlier right there. Um, but had the news. And I mean, look, they're setting up England's first heart and lung screening hub. Like that's a major, major thing. Entire the entire part of England, the first lung and uh heart and lung screening club. That's major news. 634. And if you go to 634, uh 18, which would be 1834, which is right in here, which is exactly when it started volume loading. So if you go here, let's go 1 day, 5 minute, 1630. 81,000 shares in that first 5 minute candle with the low of 9 cents. So you can tell the news is relevant, and then you can see how relevant the news actually was. And so that's why I really like using news catalysts to execute on these low price stocks. And that's why I said in the video, system 2 will make you way more money than system 1. You just have to be a little bit methodical and execute quickly.
Okay.
Hmm. But other than that, I mean, 439% overnight. That's like if you put 1,000 in here, it would be your account would be at 5,390 up here.
Beautiful.
Yeah. You put 10 in, you'll be at 54,000. I wouldn't put 100K in here because the volume is not high enough to be dumping 100K in here. Yeah, you can easily drop 100K on system 1 plays, but system 2, uh, like like 10, 20, 30K is a good number. 40 and 50, you would have to wait for like all of this to trade first before you start to like load in or like load it in pieces or something like that. But for the most part, you get at that ideal entry right near the bottom. Yeah, like 30 is kind of like the max for now. I'm sure once it gets closer to December, there'll be more volume, more traders, and so But I mean, you put 30 in here, it'll be like 100 and what is that? 30,000 plus 439%. Yeah, it'll be at 162. Um, basically over the weekend. So increase your account. But I mean, the chance of somebody holding all the way up there, price action wise, is pretty easy. I mean, it literally popped up and then just went straight sideways. And then this is really the first time it made a lower high and broke down. So dump all the shares on this breakdown. These two candles. Lock in like a six-figure profit. Telling you, bro. Stocks is each
So
day, each day you'll see exactly what I'm talking about.
do you usually hold over the weekend?
Nah,
Okay,
nah. Unless it's something like that, that type of news. But by the time it hits the end of the week, I'm usually up like over 100% profit on the week. So yeah, I'm not even really thinking about news popping up at 6:34 p.m. on Friday.
facts.
But if I would have been waking up to an extra 400%. So that gives me a opportunity to now start to create more in my reality to see like, okay, well, even though I'm up, I'm grateful, pay my tithes at the end of the week, and then I'm still gonna check because I mean, it don't make sense to miss an extra 400. It's a look AULT got that VO middle VO reclaim, and then they stuffed it, but then they held it, and now back at 22. So I could have. This will probably hit my 50%. So I probably could have got 50% profit on this. But yeah, I definitely will start to check my new scanner at on Fridays. And I'll start checking it after. So maybe I'll change that time to 4 to 7 p.m. to check it
47. Okay.
just on Friday. Just because I remember Timothy Sykes said he bet his first 100K over the weekend on a play like that.
You think in my free time I should take some Timothy Site courses while I'm doing this?
Uh, I mean, you ain't gotta pay for it. I still have the DVDs that I paid the 7,000 for. I have the login.
Oh, damn. That's fire.
Yeah.
Okay.
And like multiple people can log in. I haven't watched them in a minute because I see those things like hundreds of times, but if if like somebody else is watching it, it doesn't even matter. It has like a multi thing, so multiple people can log in.
Oh, bet. Yeah, yeah. Let me get that.
Yeah, I'll drop it right now. Actually, I'll just send it to you on Instagram.
Okay. Appreciate it.
All right, just sent you that.
Okay. Appreciate that, bro.
Yes, sir. And yeah, the DVD I watched the most was Trading Tickers by Tim Bertani.
Trade secrets.
No, Trading Tickers.
Oh, stickers?
Tickers. T-I,
Tickers. Stickers.
yeah, yeah,
Okay.
Tickers.
By who?
Tim Bertani. I
Amazon.
don't think it says his name. I think it just says Trading Tickers in there.
Okay.
And then the penny stock framework and printing penny stock framework part two. But it's like how I operate now with these two systems, it kind of like it's different, but it works. I found that it works the best and the most consistently because their win rates are like 50 to 60%.
Mm,
My win rate is over 80%.
that's beautiful.
Yeah. It just fits my personality. I like winning.
Could tell. What's your? I just always want to know this. What's your end goal, bro?
And it was 375 M, but after I became a licensed financial advisor, I could lower it down to like 119.
Hmm.
Yeah, so like 119 M, because then I can place it into a whole life insurance, and then it'll generate guaranteed income at a guaranteed rate, no market risk, no market fluctuation.
Ah, okay, okay, beautiful.
And then I can take loans out against the policy each month,
Hmm.
and then I don't even have to pay it back
You
because
said
they use the death benefit uh, as the asset.
how much is it going to yield you? Like, is it going to yield you like 8%?
8%.
8%. Okay,
Yep, guaranteed.
beautiful.
Yeah, they showed us this one guy. Um, he put like 100 and I think he put like 169 in one account. That was the guaranteed 8%, and then he put 169 into like a stock market investment, like a hedge fund type of deal. It was like it tracked the S&P, and it was basically like full market, like the entire capital was being used in the market by like advisors and stuff like that that work at like Citadel and Fidelity and stuff like that, like being traded.
Hmm.
And the freaking the end of term difference was like it's like $76,000 more or $176,000 more on the guaranteed after the same amount of time. Like the 169 was placed in two separate accounts, two different routes, and the difference in the guaranteed was like 76% more. And I was like, nah, yeah, you can't outperform a guarantee if you don't. I guess whatever system they're using. I mean, of course, my system, I would be able to do that, but I can't be dumping 50 million into into these stocks. I can't even dump 10 million into these stocks. So, but yeah, with the guaranteed contractual rate through the life insurance company, I mean, it's guaranteed money. And the life insurance companies are the ones that are backing the banks. So your money's guaranteed. It's there. And that's how generational wealth is passed down through trust funds and stuff like that, because it's done through whole life insurance policies.
I've seen a lot of financial advisors. They post about the Rockefellers, and they
Uh-huh.
say that's what they did.
Yep. I mean, that was kind of like the gateway. They figured out the cheapest way to get the highest quality money was through
Hmm.
whole life insurance, and then to take loans out against the policy, and then use the net death benefit as an asset because the IRS deems it as an asset.
That's crazy.
Yeah, which is convenient because that's 200 M less that I have to make. Time is 8:30. All right, we'll let this recording run till. I mean, I would have been got off, but you've been asking some good questions for the recording and just for yourself to make sure you're ready to go.
Mhm.
Um, but I definitely always get off at like 8:33. Like, say there was no news post at all, and I'm just chilling here, been chilling here waiting for something. There was no LMDX, there was no AULT, there was nothing. I wouldn't even have touched FOXO because of the placement, and ALZN wouldn't have touched it either. This volume is weak. These volume, the highest volume candle was 10K volume, so that's no. And if there's absolutely nothing by 8:30, there's usually gonna drop some type of news. And I wait until 8:33 because I forgot I had that on here. I forgot I bought the breaking news chat last week. Um, what's all that? That just threw me off. Did that dollar bill thing come through your side too?
No.
Okay, so it's only playing on my side. The breaking news chat has like a little dollar bill cha-ching anytime the breaking news Wall Street analyst post inside of it. But if there's, I'll wait until 8:33 because if the news comes out at 8:30, but the volume it doesn't fit all those requirements by 8:31, 8:32, then I give it to 8:33. Then if there's nothing, okay, shower, eat, meditate, read, be back at 9:29 to see if there's a system one play. Yep, so the first hour and a half of the day, I mean, we're up 25% so far for today.
Okay.
And then we'll see where and if we're gonna execute on whether it's LMDX or AULT or something else. We'll be using the top percent gainer scanner. We'll be using the top percent gainer scanner. And remember, I was saying about clicking that scan button. If you look at it from your phone, I need to turn that off. That's really annoying. One sec. Uh, yes, there we go. Turn off. All right. Um, what was I? If you look at this scanner from your phone, it will update automatically. So you won't have to because this doesn't it updates automatically, but it's not like stocks to trade automatically. You gotta press this button sometimes for it to repopulate, regenerate your stuff. But if you look at it on your phone, it's fully automatic and it's quick. And then I also have alerts, and I just remember I didn't mention that. So right here, it will alert me when a new symbol is added to the top percent gainers, and it'll pop in this messages box here and it will also populate on the messages box on my phone. So if I'm doing something and it pops something up and I haven't executed system 2 this in the morning or system 1 and it's not 11 a.m., then I can see it pops up and I'm like, okay, cool. Let me check this. And then I'll check if yesterday's candle is red, perfect. And then I'll check the volume and then, straight from the video. Nothing is different, and then I'll execute on that play. But yeah, and so do alerts right here. If you see right under the scan button, these three dots, alert with scan results change, and then you just hit create, and then it will alert you anytime something pops up onto the top percent gainer scanner. And so
Okay.
you don't even have to really stare at it if you're busy or don't want to. Oh, yep. See, look at all this stuff popping up. Let me drag this over. See, 8:30. We got WODS, IMPX, MULN. All right. So what I would do, let's just act like I didn't take a trade. So I'll put this here. So WODS. All right. So, and that's why I say you want to be paying attention because this did 40,000, 31,000. So it is kind of volume floating. And look, I mean, look, this thing blasted. Everything is above the dotted line, so you're good. And so you would have been wanting to be in here inside of this candle. But 40,000 is pretty weak. So I probably wouldn't have bought that. But it also is 60 cents a share. IMPX. Uh Trash. It's not going up. It was volume loading, but it's going opposite direction. Not volume loading at all. And then FOXO is back. It's not doing anything. And this is volume loading. And then if you look right here, everything is beneath the dotted line. And you probably very stereo, much better. Basically, everything's beneath the dotted line, so not touching it. So that's how quickly I would go through all those stocks we just saw that were added. So if somebody's quick enough, they'd have been in here pretty paid. Let's yeah. Oh, okay. Give me one sec. All right. Probably would have got in at 62 there. Can you still hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right, cool. Yeah, if somebody got in at 62, going to 74 would have been 20%. This would have been over 20% in 1 minute. But I mean, that's some extreme quick execution there. I don't even think I would have been able to get in there. Hotkeys, if you had hotkeys, you would have been able to easily get in there. Hotkeys are like you can tell it to use a portion of your account, a certain percentage of your account, and to enter on the ask by like pressing maybe like shift B or something, control shift B. Like maybe that's like the button sequence, and then it would instantly buy on the ask price and buy use a certain percentage of your account. And so you don't have to calculate what price you're trying to get in. You don't have to calculate how many shares. It just that's what hotkeys are for. And like I was saying in the video, I don't use them. I just force myself to execute quickly. And if I miss it, I mean, maybe it wasn't meant for me to get in anyway. So
Facts. Is it like a pending order or is it different?
nah, the hotkeys is it would smack the ass because it would buy right on the ask. It would just smack the ask and get you in.
Okay.
And yeah, and when I get out, when I get out of play, I just smack the bid and get out. All right, it's 8:37. So let me go ahead and put this back. Let me put this at today 5 minute, today 5 minute, and today 5 minute. There we go. LMDX. And then let me turn off the pre-market news scanner And I'm gonna turn on, oh, it's already on. Turn on my most active scanner. And then I'm just gonna look at the top. I'll load it up here for the, let me stop recording this. Uh, and then